Hello, it's Cheryl Meyer out of costume, and I'm here today for another magical moment from Wonderland. And what I want to talk about is the dodo bird. I concentrated on the story of the dodo bird yesterday, which is quite delightful because in all this chaos, the dodo bird takes control. They're all wet, they're doing a race, and he decides everybody's a winner and everybody gets a prize. He has the leadership skills to bring the chaos all together, and everybody deserves to win, and playfulness is medicine. And so Alice learns all these skills and wisdom from the dodo bird, and the dodo bird is actually probably Charles Dodson because he had a stutter, and when he used to introduce himself, he was Dodo Dodson, and Dodson was his real last name. Lewis Carroll was his pen name, and so he was kind of making fun of himself when he was talking about the dodo bird, but at the same time teaching Alice the lessons that he believed the dodo bird had to teach everyone. I love it that there is no winner in the race, and that the way they dry is by running around so that the air actually dries them. At any rate, today what I want to talk about is the real dodo bird, which is not as a delightful a story as the one in Wonderland. The dodo bird had a really tragic ending. He's from an island called the Mauritius, which is close to Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. I actually had my own experience with that area of the world, so I'll tell that story at the very end. But the dodo bird was only found on that island, and he used to eat things that were on the ground because he has wings that he couldn't fly with. So he would eat fruit that would fall down to the ground, or maybe small animals that were on the ground, but he couldn't fly. He was about 3 feet tall, and he would run around this island, and he had a very good life. He was a very sweet bird, related to pigeons, but much bigger. And starting in the late 1500s, sailors started landing there. The dodo bird had no prior predators, so it didn't expect that they would start killing it to eat it. Even their eggs were just laid on the ground, and the sailors would come pick up their eggs and trot off with them and eat them. They were quite delicious. And it took about 70 years for the dodo bird to completely disappear and go extinct. And I always found that very sad because he's kind of a fun critter unto himself. What I wore yesterday was the dodo head, and since I couldn't really see out of it when I put it on, I was supposed to be seeing out of these holes here on the side, right there. Not only could you not hear me when I had this on because I was muffled, and I was supposed to be breathing through these little nose holes, they were nowhere near my nose, and the eye holes were nowhere near my eye. So that was how I gave the dodo bird his due. And I wanted to explain what his fate was because I find it very sad. Now, he went extinct by 1681, so it took a very short period of time for him to completely disappear. But the dodo legacy is often portrayed as being somewhat foolish. That's why he was called a dodo. But they were simply unadapted to rapid change, which was caused by humans. And today they serve as a powerful symbol of extinction caused by human interference. They were one of the first major species to completely disappear because of man. And the dodo bird comes from the Portuguese word des, meaning full or simple. At any rate, let me tell you my story about this Mauritius. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But I had a business partner in my first business who was struck dead gorgeous. Her name was Carol. Her legs ended at my boots. She had these incredibly long gorgeous lakes, and she was gorgeous. So wherever we went in the world, she got attention from all the men in that area of the world who would sometimes even line up and follow us because they were so enamored with her. We would jump to the head of the line in airports, yada, yada. So we were in India. We were manufacturing there. We were in one of the nicest hotels in Bombay, which is Mumbai now. It was Mumbai, now it's called Bombay. At any rate, she forgot something, so she had to run up to her room, and I was in the lobby waiting for her to return, and a big stretch limo pulled up in front of the hotel, and a little short man, who was also about boob height, in a turban, came running into the lobby carrying a yellow rose. And he ran right up to me and sang me the Yellow Rose of Texas and handed me the rose. These sorts of things never happened to me. I was traveling with the beauty queen, so all the attention always was on her. And here was this little man who then invited me to return to his island, which were the Marianas, which is supposed to be one of the most drop-dead gorgeous spots on this earth. My husband John actually went there when he went on his round the globe tour when we first met. He had already signed up to do a 90-day world tour on a cruise, and so one of the places that he stopped were these islands. And so he was talking about that. Oh my God, I met one of the key, I don't know if he was the leader, the prime minister, or what he was, but he was very high up and very wealthy. And when I turned him down, he bowed, and then he ran and got back into his limousine, and they took off. So my whole encounter with him was probably less than 5 minutes. And then when Carol came down, I was trying to explain this whole situation to her. She was like, huh? At any rate, I will always remember this island. I did not know at that time that the dodo bird went extinct there. It is a place I would love to see someday. I know somebody who went on their honeymoon there was blown away at how gorgeous it was. And it's interesting because lots of different peoples live on this small island that only has 1,300 people. There's people from India there, there's people from Africa there, there's Creoles there, there are British there because it was a British island and it has a British type government there. So it sounds like it's kind of an incredible spot, and I have it on my bucket list that maybe someday. But I love the dodo bird, so I feel really bad that he didn't even make it into the 1700s because he went totally extinct. At any rate, Wonderland is a completely magical place. Tomorrow we'll talk about a different character and what Alice's lessons from that character were. I have some other fun things to wear to do my videos, and so we'll be headed that direction, and there's lots of fun things to talk about. I'm going to do a quick little, this is what you get in bullet points at my retreat, because I've been told my marketing is a little overwhelming. So I'll break it down into some of the key pieces, and I hope I can interest you to fill out the application and then come join me. I don't want more than 8 or 10 people because I want it to be close and intimate. And I'm very excited about the modules, which are on self-love, wellness, and then manifestation. And my take on manifestation is probably different than you've ever learned from anybody else, and it will be definitely worth hearing about. I believe it will change your life. And then you get all kinds of benefits. You're going to get PSYCH-K sessions. If you walk in here with self-love, great, then we're going to use PSYCH-K to reprogram a different self-limited belief. But if you don't love yourself, you will leave here with self-love because we'll use your PSYCH-K session to make sure that you do have self-love then when you leave. And remember, self-love is the foundation for all your hopes and dreams. If you love yourself, you'll spend time on your wellness because it's not a bother anymore to cook well and to eat well and to move your body and do all the things that you need to do, including meditation, so that you are in the best physical and mental and spiritual shape that's possible, because that's where you then can manifest all the rest of your hopes and dreams. So it all fits together. There are lots of free goodies that you get when you come. So the whole thing is value packed, and you don't want to miss this. And it's beautiful here. John is busy building a labyrinth as we speak. And you have the pool, the glass pool that overlooks the U.S. forestry property, and the property itself has lots of different sitting areas, so you can have alone time or you can have community time, depending how you want to do it. And we're going to feed you like we eat, so you will eat delicious food that's super good for your body while you're here, and you're going to get a free copy of my Rainbow Cookbook, which is digital and easy to search. So there are lots of goodies that come with the retreat, and I think you will have a marvelous time. And like the dodo bird, everyone wins when they come to the Wonderland retreat. And one last comment. When Alice is asked about something about yesterday, she said, I have no idea. I'm not the same person as I was yesterday. So if you come to this retreat, the person you walk in as will not be the person you leave as. It will be that transformational, and you will learn that many skills to create all your dreams and get your own way so that you actually can make them come true. I hope you'll join us, because I'm really looking forward to having you here, and we'll be back tomorrow with another magical moment from Wonderland. Thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow.